Hey y'all, it's Ali from Little Hill Homestead. I had a message a couple days ago from one of you guys asking me how we use our regular bread, sandwich bread recipe to make hamburger buns. And so I thought, well, I was making a batch today. I'm not going to show you the first part on how to make the dough because I already have two videos. I will link them below, one using a bread machine and one using your KitchenAid mixer. This is just going to be from once it is ready to form moving forward. So you kind of, you know what I mean. But I'll link those below. But let's make some hamburger buns. I have tried a bunch of different hamburger bun recipes, different ingredients, different stuff. I found that using our sandwich bread, we make a really good sandwich bread. I messed with it for years to get it light and fluffy and tasty. It's really good. You should try it if you haven't yet. But I messed with it for a long time. We tried a million hamburger recipes, and then I thought, well, why the heck am I making a different recipe for hamburger buns when our sandwich bread is really, really good? So we started messing with it and forming it, and I finally have perfected it. It took me a while, though. I'm not gonna lie, hamburger buns are kind of hard. So I take a little bit of flour and just very, very lightly flour my surface. And then, like I said, I made mine in my bread machine. I did that because I'm running around the yard and doing a bunch of stuff for the chicks today, and it's Saturday actually. And if I do it in the bread machine, I can walk away for a couple hours and not even think about it. It's kind of perfect. So I don't do anything super fancy. I have a pastry scraper. I find that this is the easiest way to cut the dough. And you need this makes 8 hamburger buns, 8 approximately the same-ish size pieces of dough. I kind of just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact, you guys. Like, I say this all the time. Don't overcomplicate stuff. If you overcomplicate it and you stress yourself about it and you worry about it being perfect every time, you're never actually gonna start in the first place. So just do it. Be like Nike, just do it. All right, so I was out and about this week and I was at the thrift store, because you guys know I love thrift stores, and I was looking at records for Shawn. We just bought a brand new record cabinet that needs to rewire because first time we turned it on, it actually started smoking. Not a good sign, but it's a super cool Zenith 1960s cabinet. But I was looking for records. We already have a record player and collection. And this lady says, hey, I know you. And I looked up thinking like, oh, she must know me from church or, you know, whatever. And she goes, you're on YouTube. And I was like, oh my goodness. So Miss Angela, it was very nice to meet you. It's always so funny to be kind of recognized because, like I say this all the time, I'm just a normal person talking to my phone in my kitchen. And sometimes I forget that you guys can actually see me and hear me and kind of have gotten to know us over the last couple of years. Anyways, I started to form one. Let me you grab one of your blobs. And what I do is I kind of take this and fold it in to the center and kind of tuck it. So you start to get a form of a ball. Then I flip it over my counter and I use my hand in a cup form over it loosely, and I roll it in a circle. And you don't want the area that you're doing this to be too floured, so I'm kind of off to the side a little bit. And it kind of will stick to the counter and slowly roll under a little bit to create a nice little ball. This is the same way we do our rolls. That is a little bit different recipe, but you can do these ones that way too, it don't matter. So I just kind of do it until I get a nice, you're kind of using this part of your hand to get it to kind of form a nice little ball. So once you have a ball, that's basically what our dinner rolls look like, right? The bottom has a little bit of a pucker, but it's fine. Hamburger buns, because we're making a yeasted bread, are gonna rise like crazy. You need to get them really flat or you're gonna end up with a hamburger bun that's like this big, like no joke. So what I do is I kind of just go in with my fingers and I kind of just press it down. You're gonna hear air pops and stuff like that going on. That's what you want. You're trying to get some of that air out there. You're making like a little flat pancake. So, you see how thin that is? I don't know if you can see exactly, but I have a cookie sheet. This is the one that has the air pockets in it just because our oven is so old. And what I do, I can fit 8 on this tray without any issue, is I plop it on there. I don't grease this or anything like that so it can stick a little bit. And I go through and continue to press it down to get it even flatter, using the friction that's caused on here to stick a little bit to create my little circle. So that is my hamburger bun. See how it's kind of flat? That's what you're looking for. You want it a little bit, I mean, it's not gonna grow in size, it's just gonna get taller. So whatever size patty or whatever it is you're using it for, kind of make sure it's that circle, but flatten the heck out of it, y'all. So again, here's my blob. Pull those to the center to create kind of like a little tuck motion. What is that, like 6 or 7? So you have that. Plop it on your counter with those down at the bottom and use your little hand roll. The more times you do this, the easier it will get. I have probably used this little rolling motion 1,000 times, if not more. So don't be discouraged the first couple times you do it. Shawn's don't look like mine when he does it. Again, use your hands to really squish it out as best you can. Don't forget, you don't want to go too wide around because it's not gonna, I mean, you want to go about what your buns are gonna be. Your patty, your fish sandwich, whatever you're making on these. And again, put it on here, and again, get some yeast bubbles going on. Just press it out till it's close to the size you want it, but flat. So there's number 2. So I'm just gonna do all 8 of these. Same thing. And you guys will get to the point where you can do them in a matter of seconds. So we make hamburger patties, hamburger buns. My youngest who still lives here, he uses them for middle of the night snacks. I have no idea what he puts on them. It could be turkey meat. I don't usually flip them. I don't know why I flipped that because I was not thinking. But I think he makes peanut butter or turkey sandwiches on them, to be honest. I'm not sure. Either way, they disappear, and I know he's getting a healthy meal, so that's fine. This is the one that I already started tucking without thinking about it. Anyway, so if you ever see somebody you see on YouTube in real life, although it may catch us off guard, it made my total day having somebody recognize me in public. I mean, it's kind of funny still, but I even told her, like, make sure you post a comment and say that you saw me because Shawn won't believe me if you don't. But he believed me, it's fine. Anyways, it was very nice to meet Miss Angela. We also got some cool gifts in the mail. We got some real salt from one of y'all. We got a new cookbook from one of y'all. We got, what's the other thing I got? Oh, an egg holder. It's like a countertop egg holder where they can go to the bottom. So you put the newest ones on top and they spiralize to the bottom. I got that from one of y'all. You guys are just amazeballs. It really is like a cute little community, and I love you guys. I look forward to it every morning when I'm having my coffee, reading the comments from you guys. And we get a lot of people that say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you comment back. And I'm like, y'all are my friends, and you take the time to comment to me, so why wouldn't I take the time to comment back? Yes, we're all busy. And yes, some days I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot. But Shawn answers them, and I answer them, and you guys are our little community, and we just appreciate y'all, that's all. Anyways, those are our hamburger buns, you guys. Nothing too fancy. We just get them flat. So the biggest thing is the first time I did them, I didn't get them that flat. And it's just a lot of bun if you don't. So I'm not even being fancy with this. See how quick I just tuck them, flip them, ball it up, and mush it. These are technical terms. Mush. Yeah, everybody wants to say that when they're making homemade dough. So we use all-purpose bread flour in this one. If you want to do it with some whole wheat or something like that, we're working with some fresh milled to get more used to it. You guys told me to get the Grains in Small Places book. It got here yesterday. I haven't even had a chance to look through it yet, to be honest. So that will be my nightly reading over the next few days to kind of get some new ideas on things that we can make with fresh milled. But I'm kind of bummed. Our Azure order will be here in 2 days. And I didn't get the book till last night, so my order had already closed. I don't have kamut. I have a little bag of kamut, but I don't have kamut, the whole grain. So I'm gonna have to order some of that next month from Azure. So that'll delay me a little bit, but I might be able to find some on Amazon that'll work for the month. Anyways, have you guys made any of the recipes in the Grains in Small Places book? If you have, let me know. Because as you saw in our recent video, I added too much flour. I'm learning. I know how to sourdough, and I know how to do like all kinds of baking, but for some reason, fresh milled, I feel like a juvenile. I really, really do. It's a whole other different level, and it's all different terms, and it's all different. Just trying to not complicate it, because some people, like I say all the time, even with sourdough, it's not that complicated, you guys. It's just bread. So these people do these takes me 7 or 8 days to make my loaf of bread and I need it to ferment this long. Y'all, it's just sourdough. Don't make it so complicated. Anyways, you guys wanted a rant right there too, right? So, like I said, it's Saturday. Shawn, he's trying to make sure that the chickens like him too, the baby chicks that we have. So this morning when I got up, I was like, where is he? He's not in the house. He was down in the garage before 7 a.m. making an addition to our chicken coop because the girls are getting so big that they're getting a little squished in there. So he's down working on that today, and he's hand feeding them each morning so they kind of get to know him. So they're getting little personalities are showing up. And Frankie, I'm 99% sure is a rooster. I've been telling you guys that anyways, but the more every day passes, I go, dang it, Frankie's a rooster. Frankie is our little cuckoo Maron or Marin, however you say it. So they look like rice cakes. Let's be honest. We were watching Cheers last night. We decided to watch Cheers. Now I want to watch Frasier because I think his character is really hilarious and we haven't ever watched it before. But last night, we're into some of the later episodes where Rebecca is on the show and she was eating rice cakes last night. So that's what came to mind. Anyways, what do I do with these now? Is I stick them. Oh, you guys should be jealous, by the way. It is supposed to be high 70s today. We're going to be working outside on the chicken coop, adding a run to it today. And anytime I get the chance to be in the yard working in dresses, I'm all about it. So I threw on a dress this morning, dollar section of the thrift store. And so that's what we are doing today is going to be outside doing that. It'll be cold tomorrow though. So you guys know I love to take these big towels. They're the Drew Barrymore towels from Walmart. They're actually really large. And so I keep one on our little hook over here all the time. Can you even see my stove? I don't know. I need to do a stove tour. I keep telling you I'm going to. Anyways, I set these on top and I throw a towel over the top of them. And I will set a timer for about 45 minutes. I'll go by and maybe every once in a while, if they're starting to puff up really, big, I will push them down again a little bit. But usually when you get them flat in the first place, they're gonna be just fine. 45 minutes from now, I will pop them in the oven and you bake them at 350 degrees for 18 to 20 minutes. That's it. If you want them to be soft, I'll show you when they come out, but I don't know why I'm getting ahead of myself here because it's exciting. I don't know. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. As you can see, they rose up a little bit. Now it's been 45 minutes. Alexa, stop the timer. My bad, sorry. I try not to use her. I forgot that I had it set. It's been 45 minutes, and these were just rising on top of the oven. I did turn it on a few minutes ago to let it come to temperature, so it's at 350 degrees. We're gonna pop these in, like I said, 18 to 20 minutes. I flip them about 2/3 of the way through so that these aren't going to be all brown and these ones are going to be all white, but that's what they look like. They look like little hamburger buns, don't they? Let's put them in the oven. I'm going to set mine for 11 minutes and then I will check them, and that's probably when I will turn them to the last 6 minutes. So we'll be back at that point. I don't brush them with anything. I know some people do egg washes, some people do butter, I don't do any of that. If you want to do an egg wash and put sesame seeds on top, you totally can. We're basic. Back to the basics. Remember, 2025, back to the basics. So I'm gonna let these go for 11 minutes and then I will show you when they come out of the oven what they look like. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, you guys. There's your hamburger buns. They are obviously very hot because I just took them out of the oven. But do you see how much they puffed up? I'll hold one because it's not that hot. They stick a little bit. What I figured out is if you just don't touch them and leave them on the pan, they will pop off in just maybe 10, 15 minutes. So I'm not going to pull one off because they stick a little bit. But yeah, they're stuck. But do you see how puffy they got? That's why we wanted to get them incredibly flat because look how puffed up they get. It's incredible what yeast does, isn't it? So we have 8 beautiful rolls. What I do, like I said, is I let these sit on the pan probably about half hour, 45 minutes until they're completely cool. They will release from the pan, and then I reuse Ziplocs because let's be real, they're kind of expensive, and I only use it for bread. Like, and then if it ever gets moldy, I chuck them. But we use gallons of blocks. 4 fit perfectly in each one of these. So once they get to room temperature, I pop 4 in each of these. I seal them except for a little gap at the end to let out any moisture that's left. And then these last easily, I'd say 4 or 5 days. Anything past that, they just start to get a little dry. You know, like homemade bread does not last the same as store-bought, and that's why. I mean, sometimes some preservatives in my life, in my life might be good. Maybe they delay some wrinkles or gray hair. I'd be preserved for life. No, I'm just kidding. But anyways, what we do is when we go to use these, we just slice them in half with a bread knife really quickly. And then if you want to toast them, they fit in a toaster, or we'll just put them on like our little flat top, give them a little butter and grill them up that way too. So we do use these sometimes, obviously, you know, hamburgers, things like that, fish sandwiches, but they make a really easy turkey sandwich too. We make breakfast sandwiches on these also. So they're really universal little, what are those little, oh gosh. If you go to a Mexican market or carniceria, they have like, what are they called? Burrito rolls. They're like the rolls that kind of use for everything. These are kind of those. They're like a universal little roll. Anyways, these are a hamburger buns, you guys. Like I was saying, if you wanted to put a little egg wash and some sesame seeds or, you know, whatever, you totally can. I think just basic is best. There you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed our video. I will link the recipe below to our basic sandwich bread with the instructions. And then I'm going to link the 2 videos, the one that just came out showing how to make our sandwich bread by hand using your KitchenAid, and then an older one that we have showing how to use your bread machine and then bake in the oven. You have to bake in the oven. Bread machines just don't bake the same as an oven does. But I'll link those below with the recipe. If you guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, let me know below. We always try to get back to you guys, and we appreciate you as always. Like, you guys are amazeballs. All right, thanks. Have a great, great day.